my darling Fumi Nation. How are you? How are we, baby? Yes, yes, yes. We have new t-shirts, my darlings. We have our Powerpuff Superwoman. It had to be her. It could not be anybody else. As you very well know, she is the first and front and center of every episode, and she represents us. She represents all of us. She represents our strength. She represents our fabulosity. She represents eating our salads and minding our business. And baby, what is delayed is not denied. We have come out with the baby blue, and when you turn around, we have what is delayed is not denied. We did longer sleeves this time around for our girlies. For those of you that are conscious of your upper arms, I got you, mama. We also have what? The crew neck, so that you are comfortable with your limousine girlies and you can go everywhere and anywhere. We have no tags. Instead, I made sure that it was a print so that you have no reactions. There you go, my darlings. Are we living and loving? Beautiful cotton. Might I add that we ship internationally. We have it in our beautiful sky blue for a punch of color for spring. We also have it in cream, my darlings. Yes, yes, yes. And sizes small to 4X. I went out yesterday. Was it day before yesterday? And when I tell you the amount of compliments that I got, I screamed. I was like, is there something that I do not know? And I was so impressed with the amount of guys that said, I need this for my mom, I need this for my wife, I need it for my girlfriend, for my sister, for my cousins. And they just kept on asking. I was at the mall, and it was unbelievable. You can tuck her in. It's a long tee, and you will absolutely what? Absolutely love her. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy. Yes, darlings, the links are below. Go ahead and get yours. If we sell out, I will order more. All right? Love you, and thank you. Mwah. So we have everything. Hello, my darling Fumi Nation. How are you? How are we? My darlings, we have an update on the Ashlee Jenae case, and I am here to give it to you. Fumi Nation, I live and love you. I 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 love you. How many times did I say I love you and I love you some more? Apparently, there is this newscaster. Let me just bring her up because you know I like to cite my sources. She's a host and public speaker. Her name is Cheyenne Corin. So Cheyenne Corin has really been following the Ashlee Jenae case, and yesterday she had this update of which I would like to share with you.
Hi everyone, I just want to quickly provide an update on where we are exactly in the death of influencer Ashlee Robinson, because this week I was able to get back in contact with her family, and also over the weekend her fiancé Joe McCann's attorney sent me a statement for the first time, and I actually want to start by reading what that says. It reads, Joe is relieved to be home where he can finally grieve for Ashlee, the love of his life. We also wish to express our deepest gratitude to the authorities in Zanzibar and the dedicated men and women in the State Department for their professionalism during this ordeal. We'll have more to say at an appropriate time in the very near future. Now that last statement is what stands out to me most, because that tells us that this is not the last that we are going to hear from Joe McCann. I also responded to his attorney for more clarity on what he is expected to say, and I did not receive a response. I also requested a one-on-one interview with Joe. I have been asking for this ever since Ashlee's death, and obviously that request has not been met. But it does sound like we are going to soon hear more from Joe McCann. It also seems like, based on my last quick conversation I had with Ashlee's family, is that we should be hearing again from her family. I'm not sure exactly what they have planned, but the family says right now they're just trying to gather information. Now that information could be police records from Zanzibar. Again, the last time I spoke with you, they did not share the results of the autopsy that was done in Zanzibar or the results of the autopsy they say that was independently completed here in the United States. So possibly that could be the information that they are gathering to share, because that has not been yet released to the public. But it does sound like we are going to hear from Joe McCann and also the family soon again. Now also, just to catch you up on speed, Joe McCann, he also wrote a personal statement on X. Here is that. You can pause to read the entire statement. Additionally, we know that Ashlee was laid to rest in New Jersey last week. I also have just been trying to give her family some space to grieve and also figure out what their next steps are. Right now, the investigation, we don't know where that stands in terms of officials in Zanzibar, but hopefully we'll get some more insight as soon as we hear from Joe Mccann directly and also from Ashlee's family.
Thank you very much, Cheyenne. Okay, remember we had the wonderful Trent Out Loud. Trent Out Loud attended the public funeral for Ashlee Jenae in New Jersey. And so he gave us an insight about how the family was feeling, how they were grieving, so on and so forth. I still stand by the fact that we have to support the family in any way, shape or form. And they will speak when they are ready to speak. They have lost a child in the most horrific way, so suddenly that they are just trying to cope day by day. That is my humble assumption. And so because of that, I want to carry them in my prayers and wish them the very best. I was thinking, assuming that they would have gone to Zanzibar because that is how I felt. I felt that if I was in this situation, I would have gone. That is neither here nor there. That's people's perspective. But upon reflection, I absolutely understand why they didn't go. You guys said it so many times in the comment section. Exactly what are they going to do? They've never traveled to Africa, perhaps. They don't know. They can be targets over there. That place has been set up so much in favor of Joe that exactly what would they do there? And the alternative would have been a private investigator to be able to go out there and get all of the information. Like I said, they had the GoFundMe. And might I add that the GoFundMe, when they put it up, in a matter of 48 hours, they had accumulated over $50,000. That tells you the fever pitch passion people had for justice for Ashlee. And I said it then and I'll say it again, the money would not have been enough. Let us say that you did hire a private investigator. He would need more money in order to bribe out there in order to get answers. Because that's just the way in certain countries. When you're trying to get justice for a child of which you do not live in, you need to warm up some hands in order to get answers. I digress. And so, what happened? Joe was released. Again, rubbing of hands, here, there, everywhere, and he's back in the United States. Ashlee was given a beautiful send-off, and we saw the pamphlet of all of her favorite things via Trent Out Loud. And now we still have the body yet to be buried because they've got the toxicology plus the autopsy. We have no idea if the family will divulge the information once they get it, because they didn't get it from Zanzibar. Now we have Joe, who has now come to America thinking that most probably he has escaped. His lawyer said that he will arrive at an undisclosed location. To do what? To continue his life as if nothing happened. Let me say one thing quickly. A lot of you say, Fumi, please don't show his face. Mama, we have to show his face. Because Ashlee is gone. He is still here. Let him have nowhere to hide. Do you think I like to see his face? No, I don't. To be honest, no, I don't. I would rather not see him at all. And that's why this job is difficult. It's hard when you cover stories like this. Because you have to, it's really mind over matter and keep the story alive. Like I promised you, I said if I have any update from anywhere, I will bring it up here so that we have it on Cheyenne's page. I'm going to put her Instagram page up for you, and then you're going to hear it again. Let it continue circulating. You know why? So that Joe knows he has nowhere to run, he has nowhere to hide. Now he's saying via the lawyer that he will come out in the near future with a statement. Now he wants to come out, most probably, obviously, to declare his innocence. We want to know what happened. We want to have somebody on a hot seat that will fire off all of the uncomfortable questions, and he has to answer. That's what we want. Other than that, whatever you declared on X, talking about all the Kodak moments at Christmas and how she cooked and how she was fabulous and that, we can get all of that from the family that is grieving. From the family who sat at home, was at work, doing their thing on a regular weekday when this just bombed in the middle of their sitting rooms and in their lives, and it changed everything since. Think about them. You want to be out here in the near future to declare some kind of statement. Will I be here to listen? Yes, I'll be there to listen. Yes, I'll be there to watch. But at the end of the day, what difference is it going to make? She was in your care, Joe. Bottom line, she was in your care. And this is what happened. Where were you? You tell me that you went to go and get a bunch of bananas, that you went to the front desk. We know you quarreled. The front desk said it. We have her girlfriend who said that you are out here trying to declare innocence. Continue with the sob stories. That's what they told us. We don't have a friend. We don't have a friend of yours, a guy friend, to say Joe could never, Joe could this, Joe could da 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 da. We don't even have family members. But you knelt down. You knelt down and you declared unconditional love to her. You wanted to marry her. You gave her a ring. But we don't know any of your family members. We don't know mom, dad, brother, sister, cousin. We don't know any friend you went to college with. But we have friends who came for her funeral. Trent out loud said he saw it. Good job, Trent. What about you? Nothing. You're just a single guy. That's it. Do you see how it looks lopsided? Do you see why the parents don't have any confidence in you per se? Because you are out here saying she left you on read. Thank you, Fumi Nation. Now I understand it. That they read the conversation or the text and they did not respond. It doesn't matter whether she left you on read. You keep her updated. She's grieving. You have children yourself. Can you imagine if you got this kind of news that one of your children had passed away? Do you think that you would be in any position to be talking about, let me respond, let me respond? In fact, it's waves. It is waves of grief. What is grief? It's love that has nowhere to go. It's all those last things you wish you had said and you can never say again. It's a pain so deep you would rather some days go, because you cannot bear the pain, because you want to be with your child. I am a mother. I know how I feel about my child. And you know what I tell you guys? The one thing I cannot stand about parenthood, you're always afraid. You're always afraid. You're always afraid. I hope they're okay. I hope this, I hope that. You're always afraid. And it's a very humbling experience. You know why? Because it makes you humble. I am very humble. I am extremely humble because the power and the love and everything I have, it's outside of me. I don't think about me. I think about this unconditional human being that I wish I could be with his whole life. And that makes me not a mother of one, but a mother of all. And that's why I'm very forgiving. That's why I'm very understanding. That's why I'm passionate. That is why I sit back up at night and I say, but this mother is here without hers. Talking about mother and father, the mother and father are yet to let us know what happens, again, like I said, with the toxicology, with the autopsy. Will they let us know? We don't know. Do they have a right to keep it private? Yes, they do. Despite the fact of how public and how terrible this has come. We are fighting for Ashlee because Ashlee is all of ours. Because when a mother cries, all mothers cry. Talking about that, I got a letter from a wonderful Fumi Nation. And I wanted to read it to you. because I felt that it was somewhat important. And she says, I've cropped off her name and everything, protect her privacy. I saw the YouTube piece you did on Ashlee's funeral and where you thanked the other influencers working on getting justice for her. I don't usually get involved in these cases, but J Progress definitely made a point that I have been saying all along. You have to follow J Progress. He is my Jamaican brother. I live and love you so very much. She's right, you have some fantastic points. It goes on to say, the planned move from the safari resort to the resort owned by Mccann's friend, I just wanted to add a piece of insight into the resort. Jay believes Ashlee died at the resort. I do too. And the story about the hotel staff was fabricated because Mccann was never moved from the suite. I believe that too. Here is the clincher, which also confirms that there is a massive cover-up ensuing around this case. They claimed the lights were off. The lights were all off because Joe took the key card out of the slot when he hung her body and left the room. Another influencer showed the actual room based on a video that she took from a prior stay at the same resort. They use the smart energy efficient mechanism where you have to place the key card in a slot on the wall to turn the lights on. 110% correct. I just came from Mccann and that was what we did. You put the key in the slot the second you walk into the door and you turn all of the lights on. And I take it off when I'm sleeping at night because I don't know how to turn off the various lights in the room. Those of you that have been in hotels of recent, I'm sure you would have seen that. They use the smart energy efficient mechanism where you have to place the key card in a slot on the wall to turn the lights on. Once you remove the key card from the slot, the lights all go out in the room. Yes. Yes. I just said it. Once you take it out, the lights all go off. You do that when you leave the room for breakfast, when you go out to go into town, when you go downstairs, whatever. You need the key because that's what you use and it just triggers for you to enter the room. Once you enter the room, you slot it in. Absolutely correct. That's why the lights were all out in the room. Ashlee could not have hanged herself in pitch darkness and removed the key card from the slot to turn the lights off at the same time. Shut the front door. Jesus. Ashlee could not have hanged herself in pitch darkness and removed the key card from the slot to turn the lights off at the same time. Okay, could she have turned all of the lights off, taken the key card, then done this to herself? Maybe she did. I don't know, because that wouldn't make sense. That would not make sense. The hotel is fully aware that Mccann murdered that girl and is doing everything to cover it up. The relocation, like the whole, he was moved to another room 8 miles away, and the insurance policy are all indicators that this was a planned, premeditated and executed attack on the victim. Ladies and gentlemen, I am going to put my first episode that I did on the Ashlee Jenae'S case on the 13th of April, 3 days before my birthday. And I said, go back to it. I'm going to link it here. Because it was a very new case. I didn't know. Fumi Nation brought it to me. But being an African, being American, living in Europe, married to a European man, I had enough personal information that I could share with you. and there were red flags. And I asked, and you check in the episode below, I said, find out if this man had insurance on her. Find out if this man has been to Zanzibar before. Find out if Joe had been to this resort before. Find out if Joe had been married before. Find out if Joe has been married to a black woman before. There are a couple of things I want to say first. The fiancé, do we know whether he has been to Tanzania before? Do we know whether he has been engaged before? Do we know whether he's been engaged to a black woman before? Check for life insurance. Find out if there's any kind of insurance on Ashlee. Find out if he has stayed at this resort before, because then you'll get some answers. Did he know her family? Had he met members of her family? Did her family members have contact numbers in Tanzania? I am an African. I am also an American citizen. And what happened? It turned out via Queen Sheba Darling, who interviewed Queen, that in actual fact, it was true. Joe Mccann had been to Zanzibar before. Joe Mccann is well known in Zanzibar. Joe Mccann had been to the resort before. Joe Mccann had not only been to the resort, he has partnership with not only the resort, but he also has a business in the medical field, primarily with medical ambulances. So we're going to go ahead and hear what Swahili Queen has to say. Let's go ahead and take a listen.
So my source told me that Joe is a frequent visitor of Zanzibar. And he is well known by hotels, staff, and the people. So he has frequented Zanzibar. And my source said they were arguing about him cheating on her. He would leave the villa to go to other women at night.
And other women, would it be local women?
Yes. And then they also said that there was an argument at I think at the reception or something like that. Outside, there was also another argument. Somebody was flirting with Ashlee, and he got offended, and she started screaming about him cheating on her. That is what my source said. And he said that the police have arrested about 10 people who are suspected of being involved in terms of investigation-wise. The hotel staff, some people, also his friend. He had a friend there.
Wait, who had a friend there? You gotta be clear so that they're
Joe Mccann had a friend in Zanzibar.
Red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag. A white man that takes a black girl to Africa tells more about him than her. That's his thing. He's comfortable amongst blacks. He's comfortable amongst Africans. That's where he wants to be. That's what he loves. And what happened? It turns out that he also was sleeping with the local women in Zanzibar. I understand this because I'm married to a European man who loves me and does not have all of these characteristics. He loves the person that I am. I could be blue, I could be white, I could be polka dot. It doesn't matter. He loves the spirit, he loves the person. Not all white men are good. You have to ask the questions. Hence, that's why I said, girls, ladies, you have to have your dating list. Your list to find out what kind of individual this man is. I progress. When she called her mother to alert them for what was going on, she picked up on the fact that something was happening too late. Her mom said he was standing behind her. Wow. Her mom said he was standing behind her during their conversation. That's because he was vetting what information she was putting out to her mother. In his so-called public homage, he spoke about our apartment. He did that because he doesn't want her parents going to Ashlee's apartment to retrieve her belongings for fear of what they might discover there. If he is in Zanzibar, it means he cannot get to clear out. Oh my God, I'm getting chills. It means he cannot get to clear out any evidence of premeditation before he is released. Because Ashlee is from Jersey, but she worked and lived in Miami, Florida. Who takes out insurance on somebody they are not even married to and have only been dating for 1 year? Ah, God. This is why I tell you girls. This is why I tell you girls, take your time. This is why I say, ask who the family. Who the family. Somebody in the comment section, because I said, introduce and get blessings from your family. Her response was, we are grown, we don't need permission from our families. Let me say this. Whoever you consider family, take your person of interest, love interest to them. It's not permission. It's a fresh set of eyes. Because what you don't see, they might see. That's all I'm trying to tell you. I'm 57. I've been around the sun 57 times. I know one or two things when it comes to relationships. Because I've had my own failed relationships prior to when I got happily married 17 years ago. I don't believe Ashlee may have known about that insurance. And if her parents go to her apartment to retrieve their daughter's belongings, they will probably find the proof that they need, that Ashlee was a sacrifice, so that Mccann can get out of his financial woes. Please continue to cover this topic, and let's not allow this girl's death to go without justice. No one deserves to be targeted and manipulated in a relationship, then taken through a phony proposal spectacle, just so that they can gain financially. Thank you, my beautiful Fumi Nation sister. I have kept your personal details private and out of here. That is what I have for you today. And now we know that in due course, Joe Mccann is getting ready to release a public statement / interview. And the family are also looking to get the final results of Ashlee and finally lay her to rest. I will also say, could it be that she took her life just for argument's sake? Joe, she was still on your watch. She was out there in Africa where she knew nobody, only you. And she came back home in a casket. And her personal belongings were not sent to the family. They're still maybe somewhere in Zanzibar, or you being the next spouse, kin, whatever, maybe you brought them to the United States. We don't know. Maybe they're there. I don't know why, because you've been released and the body's been released. Where is her phone? Are you in possession of the ring? These are her possessions. I'm just asking, if I was Ashlee's mother, if I was Ashlee's elder sister, where are her things? I only see her things in the last videos she put up with you. Because I want her spirit to leave Zanzibar. I want her to come back home. Don't forget to like, to subscribe, hit the notification button, and I will see you what? I will see you sooner than later.
Guys, my name is ENITAN, hair coach. I am UK's first ever hair coach and a trichologist. We are a team of trichologists and hair coaches here in W6 London, and we help those who are desperate and have tried and everything else has failed. We look after those who have chronic scalp concerns, flaky, itchy scalp that's been going on for many years. We help those that have hair loss that has progressed instead of improved, and we help those that just generally want to have a better understanding of better quality hair, length, volume, and reduce that dryness. Visit us by clicking